Bud Light has a new sponsor. Yes, it's Dylan Mulvaney himself. During March Madness, Bud Light actually partnered with him. He revealed over the weekend that they commemorated his 365 days of girlhood with his face on the front of this beer can. Okay, so I personally don't drink Bud Light. I did in college because it was cheap. I don't choose to torture myself that way anymore. However, I can't imagine that the target demo for Bud Light would be Dylan Mulvaney fans. So I'm just wondering, how many layers within Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch, did this decision go? How many people were like, yeah, that's a good business decision? Did this go through before they executed this brilliant plan, which, by the way, in the video that Dylan posted on his Instagram, he actually admits he had no idea what March Madness was before he partnered with, Bud Light. And I didn't know that it was a basketball tournament. I just can't imagine that that's going to go over well with A, March Madness fans, and B, Bud Light drinkers. But what do I know?
Sarah. So here's how this goes down. The CMO, the chief marketing officer, would sign off on this. And they would run focus groups on this, where they would bring people double-blind into a room where the marketing department stares through a one-way glass and they watch people respond to it, okay? But they probably pulled from this sick, demented side of society and then listened to them. So this is so much more than just a face on a Bud Light can. Hey, my redneck bubbas, where are you now? I mean, because let me tell you something, Bud Light just aligned himself with child abuse, okay? And supporting those that celebrate it. And oh, by the way, also aligned themselves with the Biden administration because this is one of their spawns, right? And so this is, I would love to see what the bass fishermen have to say about this on Lake Louisville, and to go, I'm just watching cans fly into the lake, right? Yes, littering.
No, don't litter.
Yeah, no,
just
don't
throw them
litter,
in the
but
trash.
throw that anywhere. Set it on fire.
So this one is actually, it was just gifted to him. It's not available for the public. They were celebrating his milestone of 365 days.
But they're still
of
celebrating it.
Of course.
They're still aligning.
Of course.
Right?
Of course, 100%. And they're still paying him to advertise on Instagram.
If you tattoo someone's face on your body, it's kind of serious. They just took his face and put it over their logo. That's not him endorsing them. That's them endorsing him.
I would imagine, Colonel, that Coors Light, maybe Miller Light.
Celebrating.
Yeah, I would.
It's like, go boys. I thank you so doggone much. I can tell you on every military installation in the United States of America right now, most of them, there's no Bud Light being bought, okay? And if it's being bought, people are going to walk out and say, dude, you remember what I said? You've gone past Beta and Charlie. You're a Delta male, okay? and it's just over for you. But, normally you would have the chief marketing officer do a focus group and everything. Yeah. But when you got all these DEI folks and offices in these places, then they're the ones saying that you need to, be culturally correct, and this is showing that we're, part of and complying with the culture and everything. They're not thinking about Joe and Jane's six-pack out there because they don't know who Joe and Jane's six-pack are. They don't hang out with.
Feel it.
Well, they're going to feel it.
They're going to feel it.
They better.
Well, I think they will.
The CEO should lose his job over this. The CMO, all of them, because.
Well, look what happened at Disney.
Stockholders are going to.
They fired the CEO at Disney, brought back in Bob Iger, and so I think that this will be the ramification. But forget about Bud Light being sold on.
But Sarah, you made a point that really kind of just grabbed me though. If it's not mass produced for the public, but it's just for him, then it's virtue signaling.
Right. Correct.
You're so flaky,
Yes.
You're not even really committing to your decisions because you know your fan base or your drinking base is going to completely kick you in the shin. So that's even worse. That's called a coward.
Man, y'all know Dylan Mulvaney had never tried a can of Bud Light until that very moment that they sent him the stupid Bud Light. There's no way. There's no way that Priss had ever tried. I'm not even convinced he's ever had anything other than like a margarita or, I don't know, maybe a White Claw. because that's like
Put him on a basketball court and
the
just
most
pass him a
LGBT friendly.
Nice strong pass.
I'm just
Straight at the nose.
I'm just saying, look, if you drink Bud Light and you're looking for an alternative, I would just switch to whiskey. It's just what I do. All right, I want one more video on this topic, which I think is very important to play because it's one of those zinger moments from Marjorie Taylor Greene. She sat down with Lesley Stahl for an episode of 60 Minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And so Lesley Stahl started questioning her on, you have made these over-the-top claims like Democrats are pedophiles. Democrats support pedophiles. How could you possibly say this? And she was left speechless, which never happens to these people. Watch.
And things she says that are over the top, like
the Democrats are a party of pedophiles.
I would definitely say so. They support grooming children.
They are not pedophiles. Why would you say that?
Democrats support, even Joe Biden, the president himself, supports children being sexualized and having transgender surgeries. Sexualizing children is what pedophiles do to children.
Mic drop.
Wow. Okay. Well, okay. She's left rendered speechless. She's not wrong, and I actually
You
would
got
have
more testosterone than Dylan.
100%, which is a very low bar, to be clear. I would have also added in.
Oh my God.
Well, when the leader of your party, the president of the United States, has a daughter who's written a diary that talks about how uncomfortable she was when her dad insisted on showering with her, I think you could make the claim. I think that's a pretty verifiable claim to make.
Birds of a feather, right?
Flock together.
And guilty by association.
Guilty by association,
So let's
for
just
sure.
line it up. Let's go all the way from the Premier of Canada that hangs out with pedophiles every single day. You can list the top 150 pedophiles, and I'll show you how so many on the left consider them their best buddies, including Harvey Weinstein was their best buddy until they couldn't cover for him anymore, and then they ostracized him. We're about to see that happen in Dallas, Texas, by the way, with a very prominent family. It's about to happen again. But they'll protect him as long as they can, and then they'll say, let's sacrifice one of our own.
Yeah.
Feed him to the wolves, right? The list goes deep. That's why you haven't seen the list from Epstein, because they're all on it. All of them visited the island. All of them saw something, didn't say something, or maybe participated and was surreptitiously filmed. And now they've got a little black book on them, and they've got some images on them. So they're not pedophiles. I mean, what is a pedophile?
Right.
It's a minor attracted person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Changing the language.
Yeah.
Well, you had Joe Biden what was it on The Daily Show where he did the interview, and he talked about, we're bad for wanting to protect children.
Right.
So if we're bad for wanting to protect children from gender mutilation surgeries, puberty blockers, hormonal therapies, from these, grown bearded men in these drag shows, then you're supporting that. And if you're supporting that, then Marjorie Taylor Greene was absolutely right. You're supporting pedophilia.
Right.
You're supporting the sexualization of our children. Just the same as, what was that, Cuties? That show that they had on Netflix. Yeah, well,
Sarah covered it well.
Well,
Very well.
who did Netflix also have a big contract with? Barack Obama. Okay, so I never heard Barack Obama say, hey, look, if you go down this path, I
Can't be associated with you.
That's right.
Right.
No?
Right. That's a great
And
point.
then the border. I'll say this,
yeah.
Joe Biden and those who run the show are the largest facilitators of child sexual exploitation in the world. Human migration and sexual in the world. Children are being ravagely sexualized.
It's
coming
not a
across the
crisis. It's a little challenging, according to Secretary Mayorkas.
Yeah. I have.
Hold it back. Hold it back.
Yeah. I have a
Looking at that
feeling
face.
Both of you who have, actually witnessed all of this, beg to differ there.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.